Hey guys and girls, Nathan Birch here from the B.Invested headquarters. It is that time of the year again, the end of 2021 as we enter into a new year. I love this time of year because it gives me a bit of time to relax, reflect, think about the year that I've had, give myself a bit of a scorecard, keep a check on myself and go, have I done a good job, have I done a bad job, and think and plan for the year that's ahead, and also recalibrate who it is that I am today. How have I evolved throughout the last year, and what do I need to do in order to get myself to the person that I want to be in the coming year? And that changes. It changes in all different times in our life, and we're not the same people that we were 5 years ago. I think I'm not a scientific person, but I think it's they say that your body sheds itself and all the cells in your body regenerate in a period of like 7 years. So we're not even the same person that we were 7 years ago. We've grown, we've changed, we've morphed, we've changed into the person that we are today. And our mind needs to do that as well for us to be sharp, clear, and focused on where it is that we want to go. So every year, a lot of people think, oh, Birchie, you should be out on a boat partying with some chicks and drinking and doing drugs and all that sort of stuff. And I'm sure all that sounds fun, but I'm a pretty boring guy. None of that really happens around my world. It all sounds great. I don't know about the drugs. I've never tried them, but at this point of the year, what I do is I actually go and sit down and actually remove myself from the world and, be a little bit of a hermit between sort of Christmas and New Year's. And I'll be on a beach, I'll be somewhere nice, and I'll be thinking about, am I blessed with the results of what I've accumulated for the year, and sort of plan. And, as I enter into this sort of season of mine that I go through and think about where it is that I'm going, also think about, where was I last year at this point too? And, for my goals last year, I had very big ambitious goals at the start of last year, and Corona came out, the beloved, illness that's set out there in the world. And I saw a lot of people, I've had to sort of hide it a little bit. I've been so fucking happy, right? Really, really happy, really blessed by all the things that have come over the course of the last 2 years. And none of it was expected, but I had anticipated that we would see a financial crash, which we saw in September 2019, and that amplified due to all these things that have gone on. My excitement sometimes to other people who haven't been so happy through it, they've been going through tough times or whatever, I feel bad for it, but at the same time, I've gone through adversity in my life as well, and it's how you deal with that, level up and grow and move on to be the better version of yourself. And my goals at the start of last year in 2020 were pretty massive, and ticked off a lot of them. And the end of 2020 and the start of 2021, I achieved so much. Probably the most amount of stuff that I'd ever achieved was in the year of 2020. And if I look back, and as I'm starting to enter into this season going, okay, where am I? What have I done? Where am I going? How do I feel about it? And looking at my goals, I've achieved so much shit this year. I've never achieved so much in my life. And I think that, being able to reach my goals, it hasn't just been something that's happened from, by chance or by luck or anything like that. It's taken clarity in knowing where I'm heading, what I want to be doing with my life, and where things are going. And so having clarity on that, like treating my life like your goals like a business plan, very, very important. And reviewing that on a regular basis. I may not be as buff and built and all that sort of stuff as I have been in the past, maybe 5 years ago, but I feel deep down that I'm probably my healthiest that I've been. I don't smoke anymore. I quit that like 3 years ago. I don't drink. Hardly ever drank, but I did drink sometimes. Hardly ever drink nowadays. I've been eating more wholesome sort of foods. Been having better sort of health regimes to try and be in the best sort of health that I can be at. And looking at from a property perspective, a financial perspective, a knowledge perspective, I've never been on top of my game more so than what I have recently. So looking at my portfolio has done tremendous things, and I'd love to say that I'm the best investor in the world, but I'm not. There could be better investors out there, but I'll tell you what, I've been the most committed, and people might not know that or whatever, but for me to be able to reach my goals, I've been committed because I've had clarity around the things that I wanted to achieve. This year, on 2 occasions, I looked at my portfolio, and my portfolio once had gone up by $20 million, and another time it had gone up by about $10 million. I think all in all, my portfolio might have gone up 30 to 40, maybe even 50 million this year. I haven't really sat down and calculated and all that. But one thing for sure is that one area of my business and one area of my property investment had taken a whole new sort of chapter, and that's with the Birch Hotel Group. And we ended up, I said at the start of the year, I wanted to buy a couple of motels. I think I wrote down 5. And then I got to my first one. I was like, no, this is a process and a procedure that I can replicate and scale. And I thought, well, I want to get to 20 a year, and in 5 years get to 100 hotels and motels. As of today, I've settled 11 properties this year. And, you know, those things there I bought them very well, and they've gone up a lot, and they're bringing in great cash flow. And I've bought over 25 of these properties this year, with the rest of them settling in the early part of 2022. So for me to reach my goal of 20 in a year, I've bought over 20 this year, and next year I want to ramp it up higher and higher and higher. And I know that I'll be at over 100 motels, pubs and hotels over the course of the next 5 years. So that thing there has really exceeded what I was trying to do. But this didn't all come from just chance or luck or anything like that. These things have come as very careful decisions that I've made over the years. And I guess the decisions that I've made, I've had confidence in making those decisions because I drew up a roadmap, and the roadmap that I do every year is just, you know, a medium-term goal. So I have short-term goals of what I have to do, which is more like a to-do list. I have long-term goals as to what I need to do over the course of the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years to get to where I want to be. And I've got the medium-term goals of what I work on every year to reach over the course of 12 months. So looking at where we're at the moment, and you know, the year that I've had, you know, I couldn't be happy and all that. The state is very important of where to be, and looking at, you know, what's forward for 2022. I haven't had a chance to sit down and draw up my goals as yet, but I will be doing that over the course of the next sort of 3, 4, 5 weeks, to make sure that I have clarity on who I want to be at the end of 2022, where I want to be from, you know, all angles of my life. It's not just property investing. I'm keeping it relatively around property as some of the stuff that I talk about, but where I want to be mentally, where I want to be spiritually, where I want to be health-wise, where I want to be family-wise, where I want to be just in life in general, things that I want to have for me as comfort. And, you know, I make anything that I get for myself as, you know, in life, people just go, oh, I deserve this or I deserve that. And I think we should all be careful of this time as well, because a lot of people feel like they've been locked down and put into a very uncomfortable position in the last 12, 24 months. People go, well, I deserve to go and do this. I deserve to go and splurge. I deserve this thing to happen. Make sure that the decisions that you make are not based on emotion, they're based on logic, with clarity on getting yourself to your goals moving forward. From a personal perspective, I've never been so sharp. I saw lots of things that would be happening to where we are in the world today many, many years ago. I don't think this is by choice. I don't think it's by chance that, you know, when I say choice, I mean, I don't think this is chance that we are here in our life. I think that, you know, there's been a lot of programming as humanity is being pushed into a new era of how to behave, how to act and where to be. And I think we're seeing a collapse of a system, an old system, which is redundant at the moment. That's our governmental system, that's our control system, that's our education system, that's our programming system, and most importantly, it's our monetary system, which is crashing. Our currency is dying. We're starting to see the effects of hyperinflation and high levels of inflation that's coming through as people can't afford basic necessities in life. People are in more debt than ever beforehand. And the currency is just losing all of its value. So make sure the goals that you set for yourself in 2022 are very specific, very clear, and that you have clarity on where you want to be. So yeah, on that front, if you need help planning your goals for 2022, feel free to reach out to us, 1300 367 925. Send my team an email at admin@B.Invested.com.au. That'd be great. I'll speak to you soon and look forward to helping you kick ass with your goals in 2022. Bye for now.